Hello. This is going to be a bonus reading for Leo Sun, Moon, Rising sign for the month of July. By bonus, I just mean it's going to be about specifics like love, career, and health. And perhaps I'll timestamp the sections down below so that if you want to skip over any of the parts and just focus on one of them, you can do that and it'll instantly take you there. I hope you Leo people are well. And this first section will be for love, for Leo Sun, Moon, Rising sign for the month of July. Okay, I'm going to do a 6-card spread. Whoa! Okay, that one really bad wanted to come out. Looks really nice. Okay, the first out of the top 3, and this is from the general Leo reading. This is interesting. And I think I remember you had the Lovers as your clarifier for the Two of Swords, so this decision may actually really do have to do with love. The next one is the Ten of Cups. Let's see if you can see that. There we go. This one is very nice. He just keeps on popping up for everybody. The Knight of Cups. On the bottom row, the Five of Cups. Following that is the Six of Pentacles. And the last card is the Empress. Very nice. This is a sweet reading for love. Okay. What I'm getting from here is that in your past position, the Two of Cups is over the Five of Cups. I'm sorry, Two of Swords. Two of Swords is over the Five of Cups. So this is telling me that in the past, concerning relationships, there was loss, disappointment, feelings of things didn't quite turn out the way that you wanted them to. And also because of the disappointment involved and the feeling of loss, there was some indecision on perhaps whether or not you should stay or go, whether you would be able to mend things and be able to trust the other person again, or you just had to make some kind of a decision about whether or not or what it is that you want exactly, and to hold true to what you want in the future as far as any warning bells or signs that perhaps similar patterns from the past are reoccurring. And I feel like now you're at a point where you're really recognizing these patterns and making firm decisions to not feed those patterns anymore or not fall for them anymore, if that makes any sense. You're still torn. After that, though, in the present, you have the Ten of Cups over the Six of Pentacles, and this is wonderful in a romantic reading. This says that you have the potential to have everything that you've wished for with romance and love, or that something may be coming about now that feels like a huge breakthrough where your patterns are changing on what you're attracting. And, you know, if you happen to be in an existing relationship, there may have been some losses and some disappointments in the past which made you unsure or feeling stuck as to how to proceed or communicate about it after that, or whether or not you would be able to trust still. But it seems to me that things are getting a lot better in your partnership if you are in one where now you are able to manifest the feeling of romance, love, feeling content, and also equal give and take as far as mutuality goes, of mutual respect, mutual give and take, working things out. Also, if you're in a partnership and you're thinking of investing with your partner, it says that you will be able to get funding if it's some kind of an independent thing that you're doing. And if you need funding to get this thing started, it does say that you will find it. And also, you two may have been in the past perhaps stuck with old patterns in the relationship and maybe didn't feel as though you had the time or the energy to really work on the relationship. It seems like possibly there was a lot going on that had to be addressed, or major decisions that needed to be made. But now you feel like you two can branch out, meet new friends together, create circles of people where there's mutual support. Basically, what I'm getting is that you guys are getting a lot more social now. And if you're single and you're not in an existing relationship, this tells me that the time of feeling torn between whether to reject or keep up relationships that had negative patterns in them, either emotionally or mentally, that is over now, and you are done with that. Now you are ready for a mutually giving, respectful relationship where you can have your emotional needs met. And you can fully attract that now because you have fully said no to past patterns. You would rather be alone than fall prey to those patterns ever again, which leads me to believe that things are about to get a lot better. In the future, this is very nice. You have the Knight of Cups above the Empress. And so this leads me to believe that there may be someone coming into your future, if you are single, that sees you as an ideal or will very openly show their affection towards you and their interest in you. Someone who would want to take you on adventures or go on adventures with you. Someone who's not afraid to show their heart or their sensitivity. There's a great deal of romance, comfort, and a feeling of comfort, of this is a person you can feel completely comfortable with on all levels and be able to have adventures and to relax together. You have a similar vibration to each other. The Empress in a man's reading generally represents the woman of his dreams, or someone who seems larger than life in just how wonderful she is. Someone really grounded, earthy, prosperous, creative, artistic, musical, Venusian. And this is unconditional love. So between these two cards, this looks amazing. So if you're in an existing relationship, there's a rebirth and resurgence in the relationship where you both are inspired again and you feel like the worst is over of whatever that funk was in the past. If you're single, this is leading me to believe that someone really important is about to enter your life. And on some level, you're preparing for this by flushing out the old garbage from the past in order to make way for a completely new slate for something new to come in, which is wonderful. Congratulations. That was pretty short and sweet. So let's get back to the next section, or go to the next section. Hello, I'm back. This is jobs, money, career, prosperity for Leo, sun, moon, and rising sign for the month of July. Okay, 6 cards. Okay, I'm gonna pick a remedy card. 2 remedy cards. Here we go. Okay. Okay, ready? This is for jobs, money, career. Your first card on the top is the 7 of Swords. The next one is the King of Pentacles. After that, is the 4 of Pentacles. On the bottom row, the Ace of Wands. That's great. Next is the Knight of Wands. The final card on the bottom is Judgment. And then for the combination of the last 2, which is the 4 of Pentacles directly over Judgment, the remedy cards are the 5 of Wands and the Sun, one of your cards. And so in the past, concerning career, money, jobs, prosperity, you were maybe having to deal with, if you have employees, having to deal with possible employee stealing. That's just one possibility. I'm not saying that that was definitely happening. If it was happening, you would already know about it because this is in the past. You could have had employees stealing from you. You could have been considering a major shift with career that you kept quiet about until you were ready to fully put it out there. You could have been having to deal with secretive people at work that were not completely being honest with you or were holding things to themselves. You could have had problems with communication involving other people at work. You could have also been doing this yourself. Perhaps you weren't communicating properly, or you weren't being completely honest about what your intentions were. But with the Ace of Wands underneath this, this leads me to believe that if there was sneaky people trying to get away with things that they thought you didn't know about, you found out about it and it became very obvious what was going on, in which case it looks like you implemented some new rules or possibly even got rid of people like that, and you brought in new people that are much more direct, honest, easy to relate to, and that say what they mean. You could have also been completely done in the past with an old career or an old job or an old way of doing things. And so you considered shifting things, and then you came out and just changed it. So it may have seemed like a complete surprise to other people around you where they weren't expecting such a drastic shift, but in reality it was actually something that had been brewing for quite some time. You just didn't get open about it until it was finally happening. And so now you are fully implementing sturdy structures, either internally or externally, with work that organize things a lot better. You could have possibly found somebody to work with that can act as an authority figure, who is a gentle, kind, yet firm individual who can handle and manage things very well because he keeps his cool. Or she. It doesn't have to be a he, even though it's a king. So this could be finding a manager to manage your business. This could also be you, is that you have finally figured out through trial and error the best way to manage things and the best way to stay calm in situations involving possible conflict or outing things that have been held back or been kept a secret. But now things are a lot more stable. And I'm also getting that you're branching out. You already have your existing skills, things that you're good at, things that you do well, your existing structures with making money. But you're also branching out and possibly learning new methods or new ways of doing this thing that you can integrate in with what you already have going on so that it can continue to bring in the best results. This can also be a helper or not a helper, a younger individual that could possibly be part of this structure that is either thinking of leaving and doing something else or traveling. You may need to replace this person. If you run your own business, this is. If you are self-employed like myself and you don't have employees, this just means you're branching out, learning new things, and trying to integrate them in with what you already do. You're also reaching out to a much larger audience if you have audiences involved, or branching out where you have more available to more people in other places. In the future, I'm getting possible conflict, but we'll go into that in a minute. In the future, it looks like you have a backsliding motion that happens where you may go back to old patterns of possibly being afraid to, what am I saying? I'm saying you're going to want to clutch your money or what you have going on to yourself because you're afraid of overreaching your financial situation with what you're trying to do. So in other words, you may be being stingy in the future where you are either being a little bit too controlling on how things are done or the management of things or how you run this thing. But that's destined to change, because if you try to clutch on to what you perceive as your power in the situation or your finances because you're afraid of investing too much, it actually can end up backfiring for you. But the good thing about this is that you have judgment on the bottom. Here, let me hold it up a little closer so you can see it. Judgment is about major assessment in your life. This is a major arcana card. This is a huge thing. It's not a tiny detail of your life. This is a big deal. This says that old methods or old ways of making money or falling prey to old patterns of possibly being a little too secretive or being a little bit too egotistically driven with working with other people. It will not be allowed to continue. You're going to have to let that go if you want your financial life to actually prosper and grow from here on out. You're going to have to let go of any subconscious leanings towards being afraid to branch out or wanting to hang on to the existing way of doing things. That looks like it's a little too limiting. You're going to have to really branch out. And also concerning possible feelings of competition with other businesses or other people or other people in your field, or even people that help you run your business if you have your own business. You need to let go of the power and control issues, and you need to let go of the feeling of competition. If you really want to run a tight ship and have it run well, you need to get along with the people that either work with you or work for you, where there is proper communication. If there is too much assertion of your own will over other people, it's going to backfire. So the reason why I'm saying this is because as your clarifiers and remedies, I'm looking at this as a clarifier. It says there may have been people not getting along or not working together as a team. It's more me, myself, and I attitude, or it has to do with sparring or petty ego battles involving other people where nobody is on really the same page at all. And there can be possible conflict, jealousy, or overly competitive vibe going on here. So your remedy for that is your own card, one of your own cards, the Sun, which is very clearly telling me that rather than getting caught up in the power and control stuff or the old methods and ways of doing things, this says just shine. Just do what you do best. Shine your own light. Each human being on earth has their own signature vibration. There is no one else on earth like you. Each person is a complete, unique being. And as long as you're shining your own light and your uniqueness, no one can ever really compare to you because you are the only one. You are the only you. And if you fully embrace things like enjoying what you do, making sure that you branch out creatively and that you believe in your own abilities and have confidence in spreading warmth and knowing what you're doing and enjoying it. As long as you do that, all of these other complications will even out, and relationships with other people with your career or work will get a lot better because you're not interfering with their energy, and they can't interfere with your energy because this is not a competition. And also I'm getting you need to encourage and be warm towards people that you work with and let the other stuff roll off, and don't even allow it to trigger you or get you involved in whatever that is. So involving people that are employees for other people. You could possibly have a difficult boss, or you could possibly have some power and control issues with a boss. In which case, just be clear about where you're coming from. You may need to go find another job if it keeps up and you can't really do much about it. In which case, it says it's okay to branch out and look for something else. Something will work out, especially if you go with your own talents instead of hanging on to this old vibration out of a fear of not finding anything else. So hopefully that helped or made sense to you, and on to the next section. Hello. Okay, Leo, this is going to be for your mental, emotional, and physical health. Okay, 6 cards. Okay. First card out of the 3 on the top is the Angel Temperance. Middle card out of the top 3 is the King of Cups. The final one on the top row is the 7 of Pentacles. On the bottom is the 7 of Cups. You have 2 7s in here. And I believe this was from your general reading. The middle one on the bottom row is the World again. That makes a lot of sense to me. As the final one on the bottom, you have the Ace of Wands. Yep, my cards are ancient. All those white specks is where the ink fell off. I've had these for forever. Okay. In your past, concerning health, you have the Angel Temperance over the 7 of Cups. The Angel Temperance is all about allowing things around you or allowing yourself to flow, not acting extreme in one way or the other, staying positive, having faith, believing that you're headed in a good place, and concerning the hot and cold natures of your being or the extremes of your own being, you have been working a lot on learning how to blend your different parts of your being so that you can have a certain amount of inner peace or calm. And this is especially in response to outer circumstances. For instance, temperance becomes a real challenge when we are surrounded by people who are intemperate or who are extreme in how they behave, how they feel, what's going on in their lives. If you're constantly around someone like that, it can knock you off balance too, energy-wise. So this is a process you've been on learning how to stay temperate no matter what is going on around you. Also to stay positive and have that nice feeling of inner calm. In response to the 7 of Cups, which is confusion, not knowing what to choose or not knowing what you want, or knowing what you want but thinking that it's not possible and feeling as though you have to settle, or just having a hard time making choices because there's so many of them. So concerning your health, it could have been that you've been extremely confused or muddle-headed about what exactly was happening, what exactly you wanted, or what exactly to choose. And so you have been working really hard on staying positive, blending these different aspects of your nature, and remaining calm, and allowing things to just be until they made more sense. This can speak of cloudy-headedness concerning health, like feeling as though you're in a fog, mentally or emotionally, feeling like you're not seeing things as clearly as you would like. And perhaps the reason why you have temperance here is that you have been to extremes. Perhaps you may have been drinking too much, or you may have been doing something too much that knocked your body off balance, and so you're learning how to be more calm and collected and make better choices about your own health and what you're doing with your body. So as the second health situation or middle card, your current situation is you are graduating when it comes to how you handle your own emotions. The King of Cups has to do with emotional mastery. Cups are emotions. The kings are masters. They have mastered their element. That's why they're kings. So mastering your emotions means if you had intense emotions, especially since you have temperance in here, like extreme jealousy or extreme worry or extreme heartache or extreme anything, extreme emotions that were tossing you around like a log on a stormy sea. You have graduated because you have the world here where you have dealt with this for years. And now you're finally at a time where you know how to release your own emotions when you need to. You know how to not remain stagnant or stuck in certain emotions. And concerning your reactions to things, you are able to stay calm, stay focused, and really think and mull over how you're going to react to the situation that would bring out the best results, instead of just being triggered and lashing out, or being triggered and getting very emotional. So it's about honoring your emotions, acknowledging what those emotions are, but also allowing them to flow and not hang on to them. If this has to do with a particular person, it would be someone who is scorpionic, or someone who shows these qualities, who possibly could be poker-faced, calm on the outside, but there's a stormy sea sometimes, or a very deep sea underneath. You may have finally broken through and graduated in how you relate to this person, or how they relate to you, and you have learned a lot from this person. If it had to do with health problems, this may have knocked your emotions off balance. Perhaps this person was a little too scorpionic, maybe a little too controlling, or a little bit too suspicious, or just your emotions got triggered very strongly by this person. But you are graduating where you've realized that you've learned a lot, and you are not falling prey to the same emotional situations as before. You're not allowing it to knock you off balance. With health, again, this brings me back to the original general reading, which is stay flexible with exercise, dance, walk, do things that stretch out your joints and your body. So your final card on the top is the Seven of Pentacles, which is having to wait for things to ripen. It's about a period of having to be patient and having to wait for the best time to come about to reap your harvest. At this point, there isn't really much you can do except allow it to grow and to be patient. So because you have the Ace of Wands underneath this, this is telling me that perhaps, and this ties in with health, but it does have to do with work or prosperity or money making as well, since it's Pentacles. And this can also have directly to do with health as well, but the money situation says things are slowing down. To be patient. The money is not coming in as fast as you would like. Pretty soon it will start to pick up and become more active, but in the meantime it's telling you get out of the house and go for hikes or walks. Go do active things that can get your chi going or your energy drives going. Use that time you have right now to take care of other things that you're excited about, or to get out and really exercise. So when I'm looking at this for health, concerning your emotional health, things are getting a lot better, and you have learned a lot of lessons on how you react emotionally to situations, how you take on other people's emotions, how you deal with other people's emotions. You've been on a path of learning how to master your emotions, which is excellent. Perhaps before you had some major emotional problems where in response to those you were possibly acting in intemperate ways, possibly partying too much or drinking too much, or just being swamped by your own emotions. In the future, I see your health is slowly getting better and better, and then you're going to have some kind of a huge breakthrough where you have a lot more energy than you did before. You feel alive more. You feel, this is reminding me of the Four of Swords in the original reading. You've needed rest, and it looks like you are cultivating rest in your life, in which case when you wake up from your naps or after you've rested, you have so much more energy than you did before, which is great. And because I see something in here about dealing with other people's emotions, you're definitely getting to a point now where you're no longer waiting anymore for things to get better. You're going to take active steps to maintain your own sense of balance, and also to lay down what you want or don't want, where basically you just don't have the patience anymore. It's either going to move forward or it's not. And so if it isn't going to move forward, you're going to rush ahead and go do your own thing anyway. If it does move forward, then that's great. That's because you are no longer waiting anymore for things to get better. You're taking the initiative now. And if it becomes very obvious that it's not going to go in the same direction as you, then you're going to be dropping it and becoming a lot more independent. So there you go. Hopefully that helped, and I will see you next month. Many blessings to you.